So I haven't talked about the GOVT in a while, and it's about that time, okay? So, first of all, things get louder, okay, before they crash. The noise from that right now is the crash. At the level of control, the level of power, the level of all that is because they are squirming to keep the control. And honestly, I feel that the majority, there are some very dark people, I'm sure, that have very ill intent within the system, okay? For the most part, people are doing what they think is going to bring us back to good or whatever. You know what I mean? But that time is done. The time of power and control is done. The time of dominance is done. It's going to take some time. But here's what I want to say. Okay, because they're going harder than ever. They're doing things on a federal level harder than ever. If you're somebody that the system has come against, it's louder than ever for many of us. Okay, I know this from trying to reintegrate in a way that it doesn't affect me anymore, though. It's like, no, sorry, I know who I am now. You know what I mean? And now I see why you were actually coming against me. And it's not because I'm bad. So here's the thing. There's a lot of misunderstanding in that too, I think. Anyways, point being that it is wild, okay? And I don't talk about this a lot because I don't ever want to be perceived as somebody that's on the left or somebody that's on the right or somebody that has some sort of political views that I identify with. I don't. It's looking at things as they are, okay? And the level of brainwashing that it takes and the level of story twisting and shifting focus, gaslighting, all of it that it takes for people that consider themselves followers of Jesus and Christians to be in support of what ICE is doing, that's next level. That's next level. That's only that is a level that only a system as powerful as the U.S. government could. I try not to say that word. Whatever. Could. Hey guys, could pull off. You know what I mean? It's wild. You know how you can reconcile that. But here's the thing. Stories are being twisted. It's getting all this focus. Oh no, get scared of these people. Oh, these people have been convicted of more violent crimes. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, you know what? Yeah, they probably have. Abso-freaking-lutely. You know who else commits a lot of violent crime? Like, look at the statistics behind white males in the United States. You know what I mean? It's like thinking that is, and I'm sure, yeah, lots of them are committing crimes. So are lots of other people. And also, yeah, they're probably, you know what? They're probably arrested on a lot more regular basis because truth is, without looking at all from a political standpoint, that people are profiled. And those people that are working in these institutions that are given a badge and this, false sense of power and superiority, what I know to be true from experiencing the dark side of our system and the way that they profile people, not because of the way I look. You would think, oh, you're just some like white male, you have all this, what is it called? Privilege. But there's been some things on my name for a long time, a bunch of lies that were put on my name that has shifted my experience with the system. So I know that also, you know that profiling is real when you look at the fact that these are other human beings. These are other human beings with their own biases, their own egos, and many times very inflated egos where they're given this sense of superiority. If you know anything about being on the side where they look at you in a certain way, or you're an addict, or they perceive you as homeless, the way that they treat you, the way that they feel when somebody feels that they're superior to somebody else, the way that then they're given a thing and a badge that says, I'm important. You know what I mean? It is dangerous. It's very dangerous. And if you can just know human beings and human behavior, and that the way that we've been conditioned or whatever the reasoning is behind it doesn't really matter. But there is people who do have a lot of hate towards and bias towards certain races and things like that. You know what I mean? And then to give them and put them in that position, of course they're going to push that to the next level. And they all look out for each other in that. I experienced it by being attacked by a police officer and seeing the way they all covered for each other. They talked openly in front of me about it. So I know that it's real. And what I know as well is the inhumane stuff that they do. It's like, oh, well, there's body cams and there's all this. Da, 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 da. There is so many ways that they can get around all of that, because yeah, there was body cam. Yeah, there was car cam for my stuff. And they have their ways. When you exist in power like that, there is ways that they can cover all that stuff up. Especially if it's on a person that doesn't have resources and doesn't have the money to pay for a lawyer. So it's like seeing it for what it is. Consider pulling your mind out of the political games of it and seeing what's happening is inhumane. I know that. And what I know is I've experienced the dark side of the system. It's insane. It's crazy. Even in hospitals and stuff. It's so bad if somebody, because of this ego-driven society superiority thing, the way that people treat you when they feel like they're above you and like you're an F-up in their mind and you're the danger without seeing that they're actually one of the biggest dangers, acting like that towards other human beings. But it's like just seeing it for what it is, pulling out of the politics of it all. This is not political. This is about human life. And this is about the inhumane things that our system does and the way that they treat people and the way that everybody deserves. I don't care. I don't care what anyone does. There's things that we can do to keep the population safe without, there's no reason to treat people in the way that the system treats people. And I cannot imagine, okay, because I've never had it on with those like agents on a federal level, the level of inhumane stuff that's going on, especially with the level of hate and venom that's been spewed about that. I can't imagine. You know what I mean? And I think it's important that we recognize this, because the answer is not in us fighting it. We are not going to fight that system. The level of power that the system holds is insane. The only answer is for us to get on a similar effing page about something, and for the people to stand and rise and realize when we can get on a similar page and we can look at things beyond these things that our egos identify with, and we can see and we can focus on human life and like what is the things that are really important deep down. You know what I mean? I find that deep down we want a lot of the same things, but all this political stuff that gets in our minds. But we're not going to, it's going to take time. It just is. It's going to take time for people to recognize, you know what I mean? And to see, especially if you voted for that person and you think that, and you're only listening to that side, you're going to hear that perspective. And if you haven't had experiences with the dark things that happen and with all of it, it's easy to believe those things, but it's not okay. And I would ask you, if you consider yourself a follower, or you consider a Jesus or Christian, you might want to reevaluate. You know what I mean? Because what is happening is inhumane. There's no way around that.